The Miami Heat just had their most dominant performance of this NBA season, and it couldn't have come at a better time. We'll break down the win as well as the Eastern Conference standings, as with this win, the Miami Heat keep their hope of staying out of the play-in tournament very much alive. We'll break this all down on this episode of Heat Digest, where we create daily Miami Heat content. So if that interests you, subscribe to the channel, as 84% of you guys currently watching this video are not currently subscribed. We're on the road to 1,200 subscribers, so go down, click the subscribe button. We appreciate all of your support, so thank you. Now let's get to it and break down this amazing Miami Heat win. I've been waiting to react and recap a game like this for this Miami Heat team. It feels like all year long, and this was by far their most dominant performance to the date this year, due to the fact that we were playing the third best team in the Eastern Conference this season in the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are currently 43-28. They've been sitting at the top of the Eastern Conference standings all year long, it feels like. And now the Miami Heat, who are currently in the 7th seed, sitting tied with the Philadelphia 76ers, but holding the tiebreaker. We sit a position higher, just one full game back from the 6th-seeded Indiana Pacers, and 3 full games back from the Orlando Magic, an in-division rival, which we'll break down in just a minute. Let's first break down this game, and to start that discussion, we have to address the injuries that we are dealing with. Kevin Love and Tyler Hero once again missed this game for the Miami Heat. Kevin Love with the heel injury, and Tyler Hero again with the right foot problem he's been dealing with for some time now. He has not been reevaluated in the last 8 days since our last update for his foot injury since March 16th. Now, for everyone else, Duncan Robinson missed this game once again as well, this time with back discomfort, the same reason he has missed the last 2 games for the Miami Heat. Then the newest addition to this Miami Heat injury report, and every time I come to you guys with a new video, I give you an injury report update, because every single day it feels like there is either a new player on this Miami Heat injury report or a bad update for a player that has been on the injury report, and I hate it, but it is what's going on for the Miami Heat. And this one is about our rookie, Jaime Jaquez Jr., who did miss tonight's game against the Cleveland Cavaliers due to discomfort in his left knee and ankle. So no concrete real injury going on with Jaime Jaquez, just severe discomfort going on in the left knee and ankle of Jaime Jaquez. So hopefully this means it's a small, very subtle injury. It's not going to be very significant. It's not going to sideline him for a long period of time, due to the fact that we're missing a lot of pieces to begin with, and 3 of them are playing the 1, 2, or the 3 positions for the Miami Heat. Yes, Tyler and Duncan and Jaquez are really dominant players at the 2 position, and that's really the most position time they will get, or time at the position they will get. But they all play the 1, 2, and 3 for the Miami Heat in the just amphibious different lineups that the Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat organization presents night in and night out. But that, for the injuries, is all we're going to cover. Let's get into the box score, as it was not just the next man mentality tonight. It was the next 5 guys, the next 10 guys. It was an all-around team effort from the Miami Heat, and it was a phenomenal time to watch. We are going to talk about the defense that really set the tone, not just from the opening tip until the last buzzer for the Miami Heat in just a minute, but we have to address what we watched on the offensive side of things. And yes, the defense really did start it, but let's go over the box score to begin. Jovic did get a start tonight. He only scored 8 points, but he shot 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from behind the three-point line. Again, plus-minus of plus 24. Jimmy Butler, 3 of 6 from the field. Every time I come to you guys and I'm reading a box score and I'm reviewing a box score and talking about how the game just went for the Miami Heat, normally I am begging Jimmy Butler to be more aggressive. Put the foot down, go to the basket, be aggressive, score the basketball, and it'll result in Miami Heat wins. Tonight, that was not the case, due to the fact that we had so many players playing tonight and playing well, effective defense, and able to score the basketball really at will. And it did not rely on the Miami Heat to run a half-court offense really at any point during tonight, but we'll get to that in just a second. Jimmy Butler, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, and 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Yes, he was aggressive. He was getting to the free throw line, but again, only 6 shot attempts. It's not what we're really accustomed to seeing from someone like playoff Jimmy, because it is about playoff time, and that's the Jimmy Butler version that we're really getting. 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists with a steal, plus minus of plus 32. Bam Adebayo, really the most aggressive player for the Miami Heat tonight, besides Terry Rozier, who we'll get to in just a second. Adebayo, very efficient in the 11 shots he took, 7 of 11, missing his only 3 he did attempt, so I will not call him a sharpshooter in this video, but he is definitely still a lot better of a three-point shooter than we've given him credit for. 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals for Bam Adebayo, adding 15 points as well to that stat sheet. Patty Mills getting the starting point guard position tonight, as we, again, did not have Jaquez, Robinson, or Tyler Hero. He added 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals in 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from behind the three-point line in only 22 minutes. And again, 10 points with a plus-minus of plus 26. Now, plus 26 as well as Patty Mills, Terry Rozier, plus 26 on the plus-minus side of things for the Miami Heat, adding 14 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and a single steal while shooting 6 of 14. Terry Rozier, very cool stat. Beat the buzzer not only at the end of the first quarter, but at the end of the second quarter, and then at the end of the third quarter, he was fouled on a three-point attempt where he did end up shooting 3 free throws, and then the quarter did end. So you can say he beat the buzzer not only in the first quarter, but in the second and third quarter. I have not seen one player do that in a single game. So that was pretty cool to see from Terry Rozier, who is really being the more aggressor on the side of the offensive things for the Miami Heat tonight. He also did add a steal, as every player in the starting rotation for the Miami Heat had at least 1 steal tonight, which is always good to see. But again, we'll get to the defense in just a second. Let's finish with the box score, as we had so many players off the bench come in and play. Jamal Cain came in and played 9 minutes, 2 of 2 shooting, 1 of 1 from the three-point line, adding 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in just those 9 minutes of basketball, which is just phenomenal to see such a young player who doesn't get a lot of playing time making the minutes count. Haywood Highsmith, who is not going to get a lot of coverage from like the ESPNs and the Bleacher Reports due to the fact of the play from the overall Heat team. But Haywood Highsmith was a significant piece in this Miami Heat, really, when they pulled away at the end of that second quarter, going into halftime, as well as in the third quarter, making 2 of his 4 threes in the second quarter, really 3 of them in the first half. But again, 4 of 4 for the game from behind the three-point line, 7 of 10 from the field from Haywood Highsmith, adding 18 points, who was our leading scorer of the night, which is very rare to see, not only someone off the bench, but it being Haywood Highsmith in 25 minutes, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal, plus minus of plus 13. Swider did get some minutes tonight. In 7 minutes, he shot 1 of 3, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, 3 points and a rebound from Swider. Caleb Martin playing significant minutes off the bench as a key role player once again for the Miami Heat, flying around in 20 minutes. He added 11 points. Thomas Bryant also played 20 minutes. He thinks he's Klay Thompson, and again, we're not going to discuss that now, but I love the fact that he's so aggressive and he plays with so much energy every time he does get minutes. He shot 4-6, added 14 points, and then Orlando Robinson and DeLon Wright rounding out the rotation for the Miami Heat. That was extremely large tonight, as again, we did have so much depth taken away from us with Jaquez now out, Robinson out once again, and then obviously Love, Hero, and Richardson. But that did not stop the Miami Heat from playing so many players and getting everything they could have out of the players that did play tonight. We did win 121-284. It was a 37-point win, our most dominating win of this NBA season. And again, here are the standings. We are currently in the 7th seed. We're a game back from the 6th seed, and I cannot wait to see how things go. I do have the halftime stats, as this game was really over by halftime, and things exploded in the third quarter. But again, 26 points in the paint for the Miami Heat by halftime. 14 points off of turnovers on 6 steals. Again, this is all in the first half. Our bench scoring was ridiculous, as we were playing so many different players. The minutes were so well balanced tonight, not only in the first half, but throughout the entire game. 26-12 in favor of the Miami Heat for bench scoring, and then rebounding, such a key, important piece for the game. 22-15 in the first half, once again, for the Miami Heat when it came to the rebounding battle. Finally, the stats for the game for the Miami Heat. We shot 51% from the field. It felt like we could not miss, as well as just under 40% from behind the three-point line at 39.5%. 15 made threes in 38 attempts. I will say we only caused 17 turnovers. It felt like a hell of a lot more. The third quarter started, if you didn't get to see this game, we played really a press man zone. When I say this, it sounds weird. A press man zone. So we started in a press man when they were inbounding the ball, giving them problems, and then we would fall off into a zone. And when I say this, again, it's going to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I promise you it's what I was watching tonight. If you were watching the game, you saw it as well. They were playing man, they'd fall into a zone, and the zone would then appear to be almost a 2-2-1. So you have two defenders, and then one last line of defense underneath the basket going from one side of the paint to the other, wherever the ball swings. But that would then look to be converted and really be a hybrid of a 2-3 zone, or even then a 1-2-2, almost like a box in one type of defense from the Miami Heat. It was constantly changing for the Miami Heat. It was giving Cleveland problems all night long. From the starting tip until the final buzzer of the fourth quarter, the Miami Heat gave this Cleveland Cavalier team problems on the defensive end as we were buzzing all night long. We were moving laterally perfectly, it felt like, and even when we couldn't rotate as fast as we possibly could, and they were able to get good shots, the Cleveland Cavaliers simply could not convert. They shot 9 of 29 from the three-point line, 30 of 72 from the field. Overall, yes, they cleared 40%, but again, it did not matter as the defense for Miami really was stout. The rebounding battle translated to that 44-30 in favor of the Miami Heat. Again, the offensive rebounds, we did out-rebound them by 5, but it didn't matter as the total rebounding disadvantage was so lopsided in favor of the Miami Heat, it did not matter. Now, that third quarter I started to talk about, as they were buzzing the hybrid type of zone-esque man type of defense the Miami Heat were playing, it came out, and in that third quarter, it felt like if we could play defense like that right there, in that first stretch of possessions in that third quarter, we will beat every team in the NBA in a 7-game series, in a single-game series. It was phenomenal. The first 3 baskets for the Miami Heat in the third quarter was a steal dunk, and another steal, and a dunk, and ending result was a timeout for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was absolutely it was phenomenal by the Miami Heat. It seemed like we were unstoppable, not even on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, getting long runouts, getting steals, running the floor. We never had to run half-court sets. We didn't have to rely on offense of firepower within a half-courted set to score the basketball, as we were getting up and down the floor, constantly scoring the basketball. If we look at the points, if we look at the fast break points, it's 2-24 in favor of the Miami Heat. We gave up 2 fast break points all night long to our 24 fast break points for the Miami Heat. And again, that won't count the points where we were coming down the fast break, didn't score immediately, kind of set up an offense that was just maybe a 4 to 6 second offensive set into the shot clock and then scoring, which is, again, extremely fast for this Miami Heat team and really for the pace of play in this NBA. We only gave up 84 points to this Cleveland Cavalier team who sits in the 3 spot. To give up 84 points in a game in the 2024 season seems impossible. Here are our next games. We play Tuesday night hosting the Golden State Warriors, the third game of a 4-game homestand for the Miami Heat before hosting Portland for the 4th game of that homestand. I can't wait to see the game against Golden State, playing against a team so volatile as a Golden State Warriors team who can score in bunches with the 3-point shot with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, obviously. So I can't wait to see how the Miami Heat handle that test. I can't wait to bring you guys updates on the injury report, as so many significant pieces have been listed as out up to this point. But that's going to be it for this episode of Heat Digest. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this Miami Heat win and how good they looked in your eyes. That'll be it for this episode of Heat Digest. Again, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one.